Hello everyone. In this video, I'll show you how to upcycle some old beads. In other words, any type of leftovers that you may have in your jewelry or supply box into a bracelet. Our project is actually a continuation of an upcycled necklace project that you may also find in the channel. I'll link it for your reference. And this project involved producing this beautiful necklace with the material that was left from the two upcycled gemstone bracelets and our crystal beads. I decided to craft a matching bracelet so that we have a set. And while all the explanation on the beading process itself you'll find in detail in that first video on producing the necklace, here I'll focus on speed and showing you very concisely how to get done with the necklace. What you need to keep in mind as a difference between beading the necklace that you see in the other video and the bracelet here is that for this particular project we are using a much smaller clasp so that it's a lobster clasp but smaller so that it wouldn't take up too much of the bracelet's length, and we are using also callets that are closing sidewise, again just so that they're fine enough to secure the bracelet but not take up too much space. All the other steps and all other principles that we need to follow are the same. That being said, let's begin with the securing of the wire, and in this case I'll just use one crumb bead, fold the wire, okay. I do like to use my nails and fingers for this process. You may prefer to work with pliers, that's okay. And gently secure, always push gently. Okay, gentle push, little squeeze, apply some more force just in case, and fold it forwards that it fits better in the collet. Since it's smaller, you may need to use the thinner end of the plier. So we've produced this construct and we lay it in the plier, and initially we begin to we lay it in the collet and we begin to close it initially with our fingers, but to finish the closing we always use the wide pliers. It's because we can apply more force in this way, and it's better to squeeze gently multiple times and not too harsh at first. So you may need to position the wire in the collet. Okay, so now that it's secured, we proceed with following the beading pattern. Laying the first two beads is important because this will secure the remainder of the wire end. We don't cut it just because this will give us more stability. So once it's through the bead, what we'll see on the outer side is this already secure and stable. At this stage we are on to beading, and we keep following the sequence or the pattern that we've created. It's important to keep in mind that you're free to vary this exactly as you'd like, so there is no right and wrong here. There's just creativity, and you bead. Sometimes I like to call this my process of active meditation because it helps me relax. But on the other hand, it's a very good exercise in concentration. So however you choose to look at it, always be mindful to follow the pattern. So, see, we are progressing very fast here, and with bracelets I suggest you work with the wrist circumvention in mind that the person who will be wearing the bracelet has. In other words, think about who will be wearing that bracelet. Do they have a finer or a thinner wrist, or maybe a stronger one? Some people have thicker wrists, so you need a longer piece of wire. If it's you, you can directly measure it with a measuring tape or with the wire itself, like wrapping it around gently. If it's someone that's close to you and lives with you, you can measure that directly on them too. In either case, if you're not sure, you're always free to work with extension chains, as I'll be working here, so that you see, so that you basically give the wearer an option to adjust, or even to yourself, depending on their exact wrist size. It's a bit more of a standardized process with necklaces, but with beads is vary. So we may actually not need these yet. Here we see we do have 16 centimeters. I'm not sure if it's visible. Yeah, it is. So 16 centimeters, since I'll be using myself as a measurement or model in this case. I think that's enough, because we'll also be adding the other callet and the lobster, so that's probably lobster clasp, so that's probably another 1 or 2 centimeters on top of what we have already. So this will be the major body, and it's enough. You're free to go with a longer wire. In this case, I used a wire that's 22 centimeters long because I'm making this for a smaller type of wrists. You can determine the proportion yourself. Here we repeat the same process with securing the end of the bracelet. I'm just thinking if you can add 1 or 2, but I think that's enough for now. No more beads to be added. So in this case, what we do is we need to push the wire through the cream bead and 2 of the bracelet beads. And then once we have that other end showing, hold it, take some round nose pliers and use it as a support to push the wire through without, however, that's very important, leave a small gap. Do not close this gap because it will impact the bracelet's ability to wrap against your wrist. So always make sure to leave some type of gap. Usually this piece of wire here, the remainder, it will serve as a support, so you may use it while you pull up this cream bead gently and proceed with securing it. Again, gentle squeeze, no force. Okay. We do not cut off this piece yet, we keep it. Now we fold this wire end again. The reason we do this is because this makes installing the callet easier. So again, you may want to push that a bit more. Hold it completely. So we lay the cream bead with the folded wire into the center of the callet and close it at first gently with our fingertips, but then you may want to hold this one with the pliers here. Always use the pliers to close. This gives you more precision and yet enough force to match the ends. So you will need to, okay. Okay, now that we have a bracelet with two secured, beautifully looking ends, you see that's the beauty of callet. Some people leave the crimp beads out. We'll get to these projects, but I generally do not recommend that because it doesn't make the jewelry piece look too sophisticated. Plus it's an extra layer of protection for the wire itself. Again, we cut off the wire close to one of the beads, depending on what you can access. You may want to trim a bit more. If you have a pair of cosmetic scissors, you may have a better reach with this cutting plier. I can only go as far, so I have to do it in 2 rounds. Now that it's shorter, I can basically push this little end in the hole of the third bead so that it wouldn't be sticking out in between beads. This is the major body of the bracelet. We now will install the closing mechanism, and this will consist of 2 jump rings with a finer clasp, and for those that like flexibility, some extension chain. In this case, the extension chain that I have is 4 centimeters long. You can shorten it. In this case, I believe I'll shorten it a bit because it may be a bit too long, so I'll just cut off 2 or 3 sections and okay, take out the rest. Here you're free to work with your own or your client's sizes. The important thing is to decide whether you want the extension chain in the first place or not. Now, I usually like beautifying my extension chains with a finer jump ring like that, see, and a small golden tone, either cream bead or glass bead, depending on what I have available. But you see, it's a tiny ornament that always adds a little extra something to the extension chain. It looks better than just a piece of hanging chain. So here, sequence-wise, we first finalize the extension chain, and then we'll add it to the jump ring that will form the closing mechanism. So in this case, I install it on the right hand side together with the callet, one end of the bracelet, and the extension chain, and close it very carefully. Do make sure that ends are tightly meeting each other so nothing falls off. And we repeat the process this time with the clasp on the other end. Rule of thumb, always install the clasp in this position so that it sits right. Add the other end and close tightly again. Sometimes you hear a little click that gives you an orientation as to whether you've closed them correctly or not. And voila, we have a beautiful bracelet with an elegant closing mechanism. You see it here. And the important thing is we've upcycled what we had in store. So for you to see the entire set, let us place the bracelet here and the necklace right next to each other. And in this case, if you like green, especially green gemstones, teal shades, I think it's a very beautiful idea, and it also makes a great gift to you or to someone special to you. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumb up. I would love to hear your comments, requests for more tutorials. If you have any issues with some steps of crafting and beading, also let me know and I'll create a video on this too. In the meantime, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the process, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.